Welcome to the news. Stay to the end to find out how we get there. So we are talking more or less about Jumanji, the movie Jumanji, which is a whole spin on psychology, a psychological thriller which corresponds to spiritual finance. There are different elements which correspond to the game, and the essence of a game popping out of the woodworks that has to do with potential reality coming out of the woodwork, being called upon by a game, gamification of the interest to be able to shift the subconscious to the psychology metric, measuring, processing system, which corresponds to the subconscious, and it's really just like a psychological thriller at the end of the day upon doing further analysis and having the ability to keep that at the forefront of mind, going in interiors and exteriors and the symbology of animals and the release of the game and also different aspects within turn out to be like a psychological thriller upon doing further analysis, upon doing a little bit of research into what the symbology of Jumanji stands for and the different scenes and scenarios regarding how it is symbolic of of different egos, ego structures, consciousness, and subconscious, and shifting back and forth in between stages that correspond to a person and personas, and also releasing potential, trying to find, pursue, and expand upon the conceptual release of potential. Jumanji, the game, is about animals being released and coming about from playing a game, being released through the imagination, through visualization, through experiences, through experiencing the contrast of reality and depicting a conceptual, more comfortable experience through gamification and immersion to develop psychology, which corresponds to enhancing the ego and consciousness from a subconscious level. After all, at the end of the movie, at the end of the resolve of the far long ago written book of Jumanji, the essence of the story corresponds to the psychological analysis and alignment, which is sort of aligned and akin and parallel to this podcast, and regarding the hope and interest of Dinky Tech Change for Games and Change for Game Studios to correspond to how to shift the mindset and the mentality and reality of this world, of the dynamic of planet Earth, into the essence of Jumanji, the game, the board game, where in essence we're always consistently drawing cards and we're always trying to pander to the essence of what could potentially be, what could potentially exist, with Jumanji in mind, the correspondence of the board game Jumanji, releasing conceptual potential wild animals into the world, into our universe, into our space, our atmosphere, our realm of existence through spirit animals, releasing spirit animals through the games, gamifications, drawing cards, rolling the dice, and having the essence of the card deck, similar to what I was talking about yesterday in a different corresponding way, by making your own card deck out of people that are symbols in your life. But Jumanji being a symbol of a movie, of a dynamic, of an experience that corresponds to the outside life, as opposed to the life that you necessarily are trying to depict or influence based on your own inspiration, like last night's podcast regarding a card deck game that has to do with goals, or that was 2 nights ago, sorry. But anyway, regarding to the movie of Jumanji, once they open the box, once they open the game, once they open the vessel, it cannot be undone. And this is also similar to connecting artificial intelligence, in my opinion, to human brains in the future, like connecting the power of artificial intelligence to merge human beings through chips such as Neuralink, for example, with artificial intelligence, so humans can keep up with the rapid unfolding of artificial intelligence as sort of the experiences of robots and things come about in life. But the essence of the corresponding connection to Jumanji, in essence, and the psychology connectivity of the games and gamification of the potential of the future can correspond to focusing on the connectivity with spirit animals that have to do with personal branding that have to do with the core of human beings, their purpose, their interest, to try to follow through and facilitate their highest interest as a functional personal brand, and what the purpose of standing for a spirit animal relates to and corresponds to in terms of opening Jumanji, Pandora's box, so that once the door opens, then it cannot be closed necessarily, that we've got the ability to have fun and play games between going back and forth, the subconscious and the conscious, to be able to try to experience more of a jungle-like encounter, more connecting better with nature by being more aligned with animals and having sort of experiences that correspond to animal-like games, so we can ultimately make the world a better place by turning philanthropy games and the global good deeds economy into animal-like behavior and fun, enjoyable games similar to sports and things that correspond to global good deeds, and connecting that with the essence of our potential through artificial intelligence connectivity once that door has opened in Pandora's box, and Jumanji, the game, has been opened and it cannot be undone. So we have the foundation in place to be able to play games and have all of our spirit, animal, personal brands aligned in the good deeds, global good deeds economy and global philanthropy energy grid. So we are able to, after all, connect with the mindset of the Jumanji movie and have the symbolism align with our spirit animal connection to the psychology to the inner depths of our mind, and have that facilitate a blossoming, flourishing future. So we have the ability to control and direct and dynamically align with this game so that we've got a pleasant experience that results in philanthropy, good intentions, good deeds, global good deeds economy, developing and blossoming games for change and changing for games. As a result, based on presetting the dynamic on the forefront to unfold in a enjoyable fashion among us all, to develop global human harmonious connectivity. And that's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech, change for games. Dinky T, change for games. Dinky Tech, change for Game Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye. And let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's push for world peace every single day. And also, let's remember to try to clear the animal shelters. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world, because we can foster all the shelter animals. We can adopt all the shelter animals in the world. We can rescue all the shelter animals in the world. And we can also hire the shelter animals as healers. We can also hire the shelter animals as healers all throughout the world so that they don't have to be mistreated in animal shelters. And we can clear the animal shelters, and we can hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities. Hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities, because they also work for free and they could use better purpose and use better jobs and be able to add value and be therapeutic energy for humans and humanity, to help us be more harmonious as humans and among humanity for all the animals in the world, to clear all the animal shelters, to try to get them to transition their energy in terms of therapeutic energy to all humans, so we can clear the animal shelters to add value to humanity in terms of harmony if possible. And let's push for world peace every single day and clear the animal shelters every day. That's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye.